Hello everyone, this is your channel Physics with Shomita and I am Shomita Gupta Roy, and today we are going to study about atomic spectra. Now what do you mean by the term spectrum? Spectrum means a band of 7 colors. Isn't it? Band of colors obtained on a screen. That is what we have learned so far, band of 7 colors obtained on a screen. Like when you make white light, okay, this is white light and you make white light pass through a prism. The white light gets split up into 7 different colors. And you get the 7 colors on a screen. You obtain the 7 colors on a screen. Okay, like you get VIBGYOR. Okay, and this VIBGYOR, these colors overlap on one another. There is overlapping of one color on the another. Okay, like violet overlap with indigo, indigo overlap with blue, blue overlap with green. Okay, as where one color ends, the other color begins. And the wavelength ranges from 4000 angstrom to 8000 angstrom. That is the visible part of the spectrum. Okay, and there are infinite number of wavelengths between this 4000 and 8000 angstrom. Okay, so this type of spectrum is called continuous spectrum, where there is overlapping of colors, one color on the another. This type of spectrum is called, this is white light. When white light is made to pass through a slit and made to fall on a prism, this prism splits the light into 7 different colors, okay, by which we get VIBGYOR, and this type of spectrum is called continuous spectrum, where there is overlapping of one color on the another. Okay, and there are infinite number of wavelengths between 4000 and 8000. Okay, 4000.05, 4000.005, 4000.1. Okay, like this, there are infinite number of wavelengths between 4000 to 8000 angstrom. So this type of spectrum is called continuous spectrum. Okay, now atomic spectrum is not continuous. Atomic spectra means line spectrum. Line spectrum means discrete lines, discrete colored lines obtained on a dark background, discrete colored lines separated by dark spaces. Okay, so atomic spectra is line spectrum, means discrete colored lines separated by dark spaces. Or later on we will come to the what is actually atomic spectra. Now there are 2 kinds of atomic spectra: emission spectra and absorption spectra. We are going to study about emission spectrum. Okay, now what is emission spectrum? Suppose you are having a gas discharge. What do you mean by gas discharge tubes? Gas discharge tubes are enclosed glass tubes filled with a particular gas. Say the gas can be helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, hydrogen, anything. Okay, so an enclosed glass cylinder or enclosed glass vessel filled with a particular gas. Okay, the gas will have its gaseous atoms. Now it is kept at low pressure and an electric current is made to pass through this gas. What you will observe is that the gas begins to glow with a distinctive color. Okay, why the gas begins to glow with a distinctive color? Because when you pass electric current through the gas, the gaseous atoms, the electrons in the gaseous atoms get excited. Okay, the electrons in the gaseous atom, suppose there are many energy levels, though distinctive, the energy levels are quantized in an atom. Say the electron is going from an energy level E1 to an energy level E2 to an higher energy level. When an electric current is passed through this gas, the gaseous atoms get excited. The electrons in the gaseous atom gets excited. They move to a higher energy level. They cannot stay in the higher energy level for long. After 10 to the power minus 8 seconds, they will come back to the lower energy level, releasing energy in the form of photons or electromagnetic radiation, whose energy is given by this E2 minus E1 we have done is given by h nu, where nu is the frequency of the emitted electromagnetic radiation, or nu is the frequency of the emitted photon, and h is the Planck's constant. Okay, so light is emitted. Photons are emitted when the electron is jumping from higher energy level to lower energy level. Energy is released in form of photons. So the gas begins to glow. But not all the gases glow with the same color. Like hydrogen gas glows with pink color. So the gas discharge for hydrogen is pink. The neon glows with red or orange. Red-orange, not red or orange, red-orange color. So when the scientists studied the distinctive pink color of the gas discharge of hydrogen created by hydrogen gas, they made this pink color of light pass through a narrow slit, so that to form a narrow beam, and made to fall it on a prism. The prism splitted this color into 4 distinctive or 4 very specific wavelengths. And these wavelengths are obtained on a screen. It is found these 4 distinctive wavelengths are like this. 1. Okay. This one is of wavelength 410.1 nanometer. This is 434.1 nanometer. This is 486.1 nanometer. This is 656.1 nanometer. So when the pink color of the gas discharge of hydrogen gas is made to pass through a prism, it got separated into 4 distinct lines, 4 distinct colors of very specific wavelengths, okay, with dark spaces in between. This is called atomic emission spectrum of visible part of hydrogen gas. Okay, so this is called emission spectrum. So what is atomic spectra? Atomic spectra is a line spectra which contains discrete separate lines of very definite frequencies. Discrete separate lines of very definite frequencies and very specific wavelengths. Because you know the energy levels in an atom is quantized. If this is the nucleus and these are the energy levels, and these are the energy levels of the atoms, then these energy levels of the atoms are quantized. They are discrete energy levels of definite values. Like the energy level in the lowest state of hydrogen atom is minus 13.6 eV. The second energy level, that is of the L shell, or the first excited state, or the second energy level is minus 3.4 eV. Then this comes to be minus 1.51 eV. Then the fourth energy level is minus 0.85 eV. So from minus 13.6, when it gains an excitation energy of 10.2 eV, then only the electron gets excited to the second energy level from the zero energy level, that is from the ground state to the second energy level or first excited state. it can go with an excitation energy of 10.2 eV. So if it is said that excitation energy of electron in an atom is 10.2 eV, it is to be assumed, or it is to be taken, that the electron is in the first excited state or the second energy level. Okay, so the energy levels are quantized. You can see they are discrete, they are separated, they are quantized, and the electron cannot lie anywhere in between this energy level. So it will take definite values of energies, definite energies. See, electric current is passed through this gas, but the electrons will take only definite values of energies. Like it will take 10.2 eV of energy to go from ground state to the first excited state. It will not take any other value of energy, though that energy is present here through the electric current. But the electron will not take any value of energy. So while coming down also, it will release that much amount of energy, and it's in the form of electromagnetic radiation. So the electromagnetic radiation will have specific wavelengths and frequencies. Specific wavelengths and frequencies, since nu and lambda are inversely related. How are they related? Lambda equal to c by nu, or nu equal to c by lambda. Okay, they are inversely related. So if lambda is specific, nu is also definite or specific. Okay, so that is about emission spectrum. Now you know that when an electron is jumping from a higher energy level E2 to a lower energy level E1, the energy is released E2 minus E1 in the form of photons or electromagnetic radiations, whose energy is given by h nu, when nu is the frequency of the emitted photon. Okay, so E we know is minus 13.6 Z square, okay, by N square. We know this formula. We have done it in the lecture of Bohr's atomic model. So E1 is minus 13.6 Z square by N1 square. E2 is minus 13.6 Z square by N2 square. So E2 minus E1 will be equal to minus 13.6 Z square 1 by N2 square minus 1 by N1 square, or only 13.6 Z square 1 by N1 square minus 1 by N2 square. Now this E2 minus E1 is equal to h nu, okay, energy of the emitted photon, which is equal to hc by lambda. Nu is equal to c by lambda. Okay, nu and lambda are inversely related. Also, this lambda, the wavelength of the emitted photon, and the energy gap between these two energy level, or the energy released, is also inversely related. Okay, we will come to that. So 1 by N1 square minus 1 by N2 square, or 1 by lambda, is equal to 13.6 by hc. Sorry, the camera has stopped working. 13.6 by hc Z square 1 by N1 square minus 1 by N2 square. 13.6 by hc. This is a constant called the Rydberg's constant, after the scientist Johannes Rydberg. 1 by lambda. Okay, this is the formula that we are going to use, okay, for finding out the wavelength of the emitted photons. Okay, when the electron is jumping from higher energy level to lower energy level, it is releasing energy, and this in the form of electromagnetic radiation. It is releasing energy in the form of photons, where the energy of the photon is the difference in the energy of the two energy levels. Okay, now what I am saying is lambda, when the electron is making transition, a longer transition from a very high energy level to a low energy level, then the transition is very long. When the transition is very long, the energy released is more. When the energy released is more, lambda will become less, because E2 minus E1 and lambda are inversely related. Okay, lambda is in the denominator. So when the transition is long, okay, when the difference in the energy levels are more, then lambda will be less. I'll just write down, when difference in energy level of transition of electron is more, lambda is less. Okay, because lambda and nu and lambda and E2 minus E1, lambda and energy are inversely related. So when difference in energy level is of transition of electron is more, lambda is less. Okay, now so we have this equation, 1 by lambda is equal to R 1 by N1 square minus 1 by N2 square, where N2 is greater than N1. Very important. Very, very important. N2 is greater than N1. Here also as well as in here when you are writing this. N2 is greater than N1. Okay. So now we are going to study about spectral series. Spectral series. What do you mean by spectral series? Now, hydrogen spectrum consists of 5 spectral series, but only lines of Balmer series are found in the visible part of the spectrum. It consists of 5 spectral series: Lyman series, Balmer series, Paschen, Brackett, Pfund series. Okay, Lyman, Balmer, Paschen, Brackett, Pfund. So Lyman series means, see, N1 for Lyman series will remain the same. N1 is equal to 1 and N2 is equal to 2, 3, 4 and so on till infinity. Okay, for Balmer series, N1 is equal to 2 and N2 is equal to 3, 4, 5 and so on till infinity. For Paschen, N1 is equal to 3 and N2 is equal to 4, 5, 6 and so on till infinity. For Brackett, N1 is equal to 4 and N2 is equal to 5, 6, 7 and so on till infinity. For Pfund, N1 is equal to 5 and N2 is equal to 6, 7, 8 and so on till infinity. So first we will start with Lyman series. Okay, so Lyman series, here N1 is equal to 1 and N2 is 2, 3, 4 and so on till infinity. So which means if I draw the hydrogen, this is hydrogen spectrum, okay? Spectrum of spectral series of hydrogen. You can see the energy level gaps are decreasing. So this is N1, N equal to 1. This is N equal to 2. This is N equal to 3. This is N equal to 4. This is N equal to 5, so on, and this is N tends to infinity. Okay. So N equal to 1, when N is equal to 1, N equal to 1, N equal to 2, N equal to 3, N equal to 4, N equal to 5 and so on, the energy gaps are decreasing, energy level gaps are decreasing and N tends to infinity. Okay, this is minus 13.6 eV, this is minus 3.4 eV, 10.2 eV of excitation energy is required to go from minus 13.6 to minus 3.4. This is minus 1.51 eV. This is minus 0.85 eV and so on. and at n tends to infinity, energy is 0. Okay, so n equal to 1. So from anywhere, from n equal to 2 to n equal to 1, from n equal to 3 to n equal to 1, from n equal to 4 to n equal to 1, so on from n equal to infinity to n equal to 1. All this belongs to Lyman series. All the transition to n equal to 1, where n1 is equal to 1, where n1 is equal to 1, see, the lower energy level is 1. So all the electrons jumping from any of the higher energy level to the zero energy level or the ground state, okay, the electrons jumping from any higher energy level to n equal to 1 belongs to Lyman series of the hydrogen spectrum. And Lyman series is the ultraviolet region of the spectrum. Ultraviolet region of the spectrum. Lyman series is in the ultraviolet region of the spectrum. Okay, ultraviolet region of the spectrum. So which one will be the longest wavelength? Which spectral line will correspond to the longest wavelength of the emitted electromagnetic radiation, and which spectral line, for which transition the wavelength will be the longest? I want to say for which transition the wavelength will be the longest and for which transition the wavelength will be the shortest. As I have told you, when the energy level gap increases, the wavelength decreases. Isn't it? Because wavelength is inversely proportional to E2 minus E1. Okay, so let us see it. So let the question goes like this: find lambda of photon when an electron makes transition from n equal to 3 to n equal to 1, n equal to 2 to n equal to 1, and n equal to infinity to n equal to 1. So let us do for n equal to, okay, first let us do n equal to 2 to n equal to 1, then let us do n equal to 3 to n equal to 1, and then let us do n equal to infinity to n equal to 1. Okay, so what formula we are going to use? We are going to use 1 by lambda is equal to r 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n2 square, where n2 is greater than n1. So what will be n2? For Lyman series, n2 is 2, 3, 4, anything, and n1 is constant, n1 is 1. n1, this is constant for Lyman series, this is 1. Okay, so r 1 by 1 square minus 1 by, first we are going to do from 2 to 1, so 2 square. So let us find out. 1 by lambda is equal to, r has a value of 1.097 into 10 to the power 7, 1 minus 1 by 4, that is, you are going to get 0.822 into 10 to the power 7, or lambda you are going to get 1.254 into 10 to the power minus 7 meter, or 1254 I guess, 1215 into 10 to the power minus 10 meter, or 1215.4 angstrom. Okay, this is what you are going to get when the electron is making transition from, when n2 is equal to 2 and n1 is of course 1 for Lyman series, n1 is constant. Now when the electron is making transition from 1 by n2 square, 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n2 square, electron here n1 is equal to 1 and n2 is equal to 3 from the second excited state. Okay, n equal to 3 means second excited state. So when it is making transition from second excited state to ground state, n equal to 3 means second, here, from here. N equal to 3 is this. Okay, so from the second, n equal to 3 means second excited state. From second excited state to ground state when it is making transition. So N2 is 3, N2, and N1 is 1, of course, for Lyman. 1.097 into 10 to the power 7. 1 by 1 square minus 1 by 3 square. And here if you solve for lambda, lambda will come out to be 1025.52 angstrom. Okay. Now you are going to get lambda for 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n2 square. 1.097 into 10 to the power 7. But now you are keeping n1, of course, 1 for Lyman series, but n2 you are keeping infinity. N2 is greater than n1 always. You are finding this from infinity to n1. You are going to find the wavelength. So 1 by 1 square into, minus 1 by infinity square. 1 by infinity is 0. So this term becomes 0. So lambda is inverse of this. 1 by lambda is this. So lambda is inverse of this. Inverse of this, and you are going to get 911.57 angstrom. Okay, you are going to get this. Okay, so what you have seen that when the transition is the longest, then this transition has a wavelength of 911.57 angstrom, whereas this transition has a wavelength of the first transition from n equal to 2 to n equal to 1 has a wavelength of 1215.4 angstrom. 1215.4 angstrom. So this is 1215.4 and this is 911. So you have seen that when the transition is the shortest, the wavelength is the longest, 1215.4, 1215.4, the wavelength is the longest, and the wavelength is the shortest, 911.57 angstrom, when the transition is the longest. So have you understood one thing, that when the energy level gap is most, the wavelength is the least. When the energy level gap is the least, the wavelength is most. You may write down, when the transition is longest, wavelength is shortest. Okay, so this is the shortest wavelength. This is the shortest wavelength. Okay. Lambda is the shortest wavelength when transition is from n2 equal to infinity to n1 equal to 1. When transition is from infinity to 1. Okay. So then the wavelength is the shortest. And the wavelength is the longest when the transition is from second energy level to the ground state, or the first excited state to the ground state. Then the energy level is the wavelength is the longest. The wavelength is the longest when the transition is from second to 1. The wavelength is the shortest when the transition is from infinity to 1. Okay. Now, you are going to do Balmer series. Balmer series, in Balmer series, N1 is 2 and N2 is 3, 4, 5 till infinity. Okay. So Balmer series is like this. This is n equal to 1. This is n equal to 2. This is n equal to 3. This is n equal to 4. And so on till infinity and tends to infinity. Let me extend these lines. Okay. Now, this has an energy of 13.6 eV. This is minus 3.4 eV. This is minus 1.51 eV. This is minus 0.85 eV. And you have to find the shortest and longest wavelength of Balmer series. Now Balmer series belongs to the visible part of the spectrum, hydrogen spectrum, visible part of hydrogen spectrum. Okay, the shortest, the longest, oh I'm so sorry. The transition is from higher level to n equal to 2. Okay, any higher level to n equal to 2. So n equal to 3 to n equal to 2 will give the longest wavelength, because the transition is the shortest, the wavelength will be the longest, and n equal to infinity to n equal to 2 will give the shortest wavelength because the transition is the longest. So let us find out 1 by lambda equal to r, 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n2 square. For the longest wavelength, r is 1.097 into 10 to the power 7. For the longest wavelength, n1 is 2. n1 is a constant, that is 2. n1 for Balmer series is a constant, and that is 2. And longest wavelength means it will be 3 square, lambda longest. Okay. So 1.097 into 10 to the power 7, 1 by 4 minus 1 by 9, that is 36, 9 minus 4 is 5, so 5 by 36. So lambda is, it is 0.15236 into 10 to the power 7 per meter. So lambda will come out to be 6.5633 into 10 to the power 7 minus 7, that is 6563.3 angstrom. Okay. 6563.3 angstrom. This is this 6563.3 angstrom. Let us find out the shortest wavelength of Balmer series. The shortest wavelength of Balmer series is when the n2 is infinity and n1 is n equal to 2. Okay, when n1 is 2 and n2 is infinity, then it will give the shortest wavelength. Let us find out. 1 by lambda is equal to 1.097 into 10 to the power 7. 1 by n1, n1 is 2, always a constant for Balmer, that is 2, and n2 is infinity when the wavelength is shortest. Okay, and that will give you 0.27425 into 10 to the power 7. So lambda shortest will be 3646.3 angstrom. 3646.3. 3646.3 angstrom. So you can see when the transition is the longest, the wavelength is the shortest. When the transition is the shortest, the wavelength is the longest. Now coming to Paschen bracket and Pfund. Okay. This is n equal to 1. This is n equal to 2. This is n equal to 3. This is n equal to 4. This is n equal to 5. This is n equal to 6. This is n equal to 7. And this is n tends to infinity. For Paschen, n1 is equal to 3. So from any transition, 2, 3 belongs to Paschen series. So this is Paschen series. And as this belongs to infrared region of the spectrum, infrared. Okay. Now bracket series is when n1 is equal to 4. n1 is equal to 4. And n2 is 5, 6, 7 and so on. So any of the higher levels, energy level, to fourth energy level will give, when the electron is making transition from any of the higher energy level to the fourth energy level, it will give bracket series. And this also belongs to infrared region of the spectrum, infrared. Okay. From any of the higher energy level to the fifth energy level will give Pfund series. This is Pfund series. And this also belongs to infrared region of the spectrum, infrared. As the hydrogen spectrum is a spectral series is going from Lyman to Pfund, can you tell me, will the wavelength increase or decrease? as the spectral series of hydrogen is going from Lyman to Pfund, as this is going in this direction from Lyman to Pfund, will the wavelength increase or decrease? The wavelength will increase, because you have seen for Balmer the longest wavelength is 6563, whereas for Lyman the longest wavelength is 1215. For Lyman the longest wavelength is 1215, whereas for Balmer the longest wavelength is 6563. Okay, so as you are going from Lyman to Pfund, wavelength increases. Wavelength increases as you are going from Lyman to Pfund series. Okay, now we are going to do a few numericals. Okay, the first numerical is find the energy and wavelength of radiation emitted by hydrogen in the transitions n equal to 3 to n equal to 2, n equal to 5 to n equal to 4, n equal to 10 to n equal to 9. So I'm not going to do this numerical for you. It's simply a formula based. You are just going to use this formula equal to minus 13.6 Z square by N square. So since it is hydrogen, Z is equal to 1. So minus 13.6 by N square. And E2 minus E1 is 13.6, 1 by N1 square minus 1 by N2 square. So 13.6, N1 is 2 and N2 is 3 for the first, and you are going to get the answer in electron volt. Okay. So similarly, the wavelength that you are going to do is this 1R, 1 by N1 square minus 1 by N2 square. Okay. N1 is 2, N2 is 3. And you are going to get lambda. Okay, 1 by lambda you will get, and then you will change into lambda. You will get the answer in meter. That has to be changed into angstrom. Okay. So this is the energy and wavelength of radiation emitted by hydrogen in the transitions. Okay. So now the next question is calculate the smallest wavelength of radiation that may be emitted by hydrogen, singly charged helium and doubly charged lithium ion. So first is hydrogen, the smallest wavelength of radiation. Now can you tell me when will the wavelength of radiation be smallest? When the electron is making transition from infinity to the first energy level. Remember, we have done in Lyman series of hydrogen or in the Balmer series or whichever series. So for in which transition the wavelength was the shortest? When it is making from transition from infinity. And when it will be the shortest among all the series? Among all the series it will be shortest in Lyman, because it is making transition till n equal to 1. So from infinity to n equal to 1 it is making transition. It is making the longest transition in Lyman series. So the wavelength will be shortest in Lyman series. Okay. So for Lyman series, so when the electron is making transition from infinity to n equal to 1 for hydrogen as well as for helium as well as for lithium. Okay, so when the electron is making transition, so first we will do for hydrogen 1 by lambda is equal to R, 1 by N1 square minus 1 by N2 square, that is 1.097 into 10 to the power 7, 1 by 1 square minus 1 by infinity square. And you are going to get lambda in first you will get in per meter, then you have to change into meter, and then you have to change it to angstrom. 911.5 angstrom you will get the answer. Okay, then for helium the equation will be R Z square R, 1 by N1 square minus 1 by N2 square. Okay, Z for helium is 2. So 2 square, and then you are going to put the value of R, and then N1 and N2 will remain the same. Okay, when it is making the longest transition, then the wavelength will be the shortest. Okay, so this you will get, and lambda you will get to be, just check the answer, that you will get this much angstrom. Okay, C is for lithium same thing, 1 by lambda is Z square R, 1 by N1 square minus 1 by N2 square, and Z for lithium is 3 square, and then you are going to put the value of R, and then N1 and N2 will remain the same. Okay, longest transition, shortest wavelength. Longest transition can happen from infinity to n equal to 1. So the shortest wavelength. So you are going to get 101.28 angstrom. Okay. Now the next question goes like this, that you have to find the binding energy of atom in the state n equal to 2. Now what do you mean by binding energy? The energy with which electron is bound in the nucleus. Okay. So to free the electron, suppose the electron is n1 is equal to 2. In the state n equal to 2 means n1 is equal to 2 and n2 will be infinity. Okay. So to free the electron from the nucleus, the electron has to be sent to infinity. Binding energy means the work that has to be, how the electron is bound to the nucleus, or how much work has to be done from outside to free the nucleus, free the electron from the nucleus. To free the electron from the nucleus means to send the electron to infinity. So n2 equal to infinity. So E will be 13.6 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n2 square, 13.6 1 by 2 square minus 1 by infinity square, and it is coming out to be 3.4 eV. Okay, 3.4 eV it is coming out. So this much amount of energy is required from outside to free it to infinity. So with how much it is bound to the nucleus, this is the amount of energy required to free it from nucleus and send it to infinity. So with how much energy it is bound to the nucleus, binding energy will be minus 3.4 eV. Binding energy is always negative. Energy is negative when the forces involved are forces of attraction. So it is the electron is bound to the nucleus by electrostatic force of attraction. So binding energy is negative. It is bound to the nucleus. Okay, this much amount of energy is required to free the electron to infinity. Okay, understood? This much amount of energy is required to free the electron from the nucleus to infinity. So with this much amount of energy, the electron is bound to the nucleus. Minus 3.4 eV will be the answer. Okay, and then you are having the next question. A hydrogen atom in a state having binding energy this much makes transition to a state with excitation energy this much. Now excitation energy this much means what? These are the energy levels: minus 13.6 eV, minus 3.4 eV, minus 1.51 eV, minus 0.85 eV. Okay. This is n equal to 1, ground level, second energy level, third energy level, fourth energy level, or first excited state, second excited state, third excited state. So it is in the third excited state or fourth energy level. We can find it out, 0.85. What formula we are going to use? En equal to minus 13.6. It is hydrogen, so Z equal to 1 by n square. Z square by n square, Z is 1. So n square is minus 13.6 by En, nth, energy in the nth, minus 13.6. How much is the energy? Binding energy, minus 0.85. Binding energy is negative, okay? Minus 0.85 it will be when you are putting the values, otherwise n will come in as an imaginary number. So n2 is 16, so n is equal to 4. So n is equal to 4, and it is makes transition to a state with excitation energy 10.2. Excitation energy, I've told it in the theory portion, when the excitation energy is 10.2. When the electron is going from here to here, it is taking 10.2 eV of energy. So in this energy level, the excitation energy, you can subtract this, minus 13.6 minus 3.4. Minus 3.4 minus of minus 13.6. E2 minus E1 you can do. Okay. Minus 3.4 minus of minus 13.6. You will get 10.2 eV. Okay. So when the electron is here, its excitation energy is 10.2 eV. So the electron is at minus 3.4. So this is N2. N2 is 4 and N1 is N1 square is again minus 13.6 by minus 3.4. It will come out to 4 and n1 is 2. So you have identified the quantum numbers of the upper and lower energy states. Upper energy states is at n equal to 4, lower energy state is at n equal to 2. You have identified the quantum numbers of the upper and lower energy states in the transition. Now you have to find the wavelength of the emitted radiation. How will you get the wavelength? 1 by lambda equal to r, 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n2 square. That is 1.097 into 10 to the power 7. Of course, there is a z square, but z is equal to 1 for hydrogen atom. 1 by n1 is 2 square, n2 is 4 square. You will get lambda to be 487 nanometer. Okay, that is the wavelength of the emitted radiation. You can work it out. And another question I'm leaving it for you to do, you have to evaluate Rydberg's constant, okay, by putting the values of the fundamental constants in its expression. Rydberg constant goes like this. You have to evaluate Rydberg's constant. Mind it, the expression will not be given in the exam. You have to write the expression on your own, put up the values of the fundamental constants in the expression and find the value of Rydberg's constant. Okay, so that is all from atomic spectra, and study hard. Thank you.